Hey, I want to thank you for joining us here on Polk Place. I'm Brian Lacey, and kind of excited. First time in the studio. Going to talk Blue Room Jazz Day Party, and of course, museum tour, all brought to us by the Luster African American Heritage Museum. And from the Luster African American Heritage Museum, his name is Charles Luster. Welcome to the show, sir.
Pleasure.
Talk to me a little bit, for those that might not know, what exactly is the Luster African American Heritage Museum?
The African American Heritage Museum is a collection of a lot of artifacts, history of Bartow people and local residents around Bartow, because Bartow was a mecca, and we had an opportunity to have a lot of people coming to Bartow. So therefore, we have a lot of history of the peoples in the area, that a lot of things that went on in Bartow that people don't even know about. So if you got a museum here, you got an opportunity to go way back into the 1880s and find out what was going on in Bartow and the African American community.
So talk to me a little bit, how long has the museum been a part of the Bartow landscape?
We started in 1996. Our first location was in the old Polk General Hospital. The county at that particular time had just closed the hospital, and they allowed us to go there. And the museum is part of the school we had, the Luster Pastoral Care and Culture Center. My brother, Dr. Harvey Luster, did the school part of it, and I did the culture part. So we are talking about the culture part of the school today. In the museum is a collection of 20 years of collecting artifacts, information about the people who lived in Bartow and what they did and what their contribution was to Bartow.
I usually run about 4 miles. I take a different route every time, depending upon where I run in Bartow. I think one of the most incredible things that I've seen is the flags that they put down the streets of African Americans and their contributions to the community. Depending upon where you are, I pass by them and I purposely look up, hey, the athletes, the Kenny Rileys, the guys that made it to the NFL. Yeah, there are others. I'm former Air Force, and there's military 06 through 09s that I've looked up, and their contributions to the Bartow community, and even further back. So you have a rich history of those giving of themselves and their efforts to the community that they're from. Talk to me a little bit about why it's important to have this museum.
It's very important for the younger race to understand the struggle of the peoples before them that come to the opportunity the opportunity that they are having today is the opportunity that they had, that they are sharing with them today. And if you don't understand your history, you can't go forward until you look back and see where you came from.
In celebrating all of this, one of the things that you guys are sponsoring is the Blue Room Jazz Day Party and Museum Tour. Talk to me a little bit about that, if you would, Charles.
The Blue Room, what is happening is that the Blue Room was a theater and a dance floor. Upstairs in the building was the dance floor. You have to take in consideration where Bartow is located. It's located between, it's like the center. Fort Meade is about 10 miles out, Homeland 5, Lakewell 16, and One Haven about 17, Lakeland 13, and Tampa is what, 39. On the Chitlin Trail, the people were going to the bigger cities, but they stopped in Bartow for one night show. And then all of these local areas came to Bartow. So Bartow was the mecca of the Chitlin. And at that time, what happened is that all the big singers, Sam Cooke, James Brown, Jordan, Howlin' Wolf, all of those came to Bartow. The only thing is hard about it now is that we cannot get information from the people who live in Bartow, because basically it was a church town, and the locals basically didn't go. So it was the more the outside people. So by the outside people coming in, that brought in revenue into Bartow. And so I was 41, so 51, I was like 10 years old. I didn't go. My parents didn't go. Nobody went there. But the locals, and we talking to, have seen the buses coming in. You know, that was exciting to us, you know, in a place like Bartow. Plus, the train came into Bartow.
Yeah.
If you know where the Brown House in Bartow.
L.B. Brown, yes, sir.
In front of the Brown House, there was a train, and the depot would just be south of that. And that's where the peoples came in on the train. So it was a mecca to Bartow. For our, as us, they say, living in the quarters, that brought in revenue into our quarters.
I got 22 years of history with the L.B. Brown Heritage Festival house and everything. And I got to tell you, that's the first time I've ever heard that there was a train stop in front of the house. I did not know that.
Yes.
Wow, that's a piece of knowledge. Talk to me a little bit. I mean, those are some huge names. And now, with the celebration of this, kind of carrying on a tradition, let's talk about dates and times of the Blue Room Jazz Day party.
This is going to be March. I think it'll start like 12 o'clock to about 5 in the afternoon. It's going to be in front of the museum. That's 585 East Summerlin Street. We're going to have a stage out there. We're going to have vendors out there. And hopefully we're going to have chairs from the set down. And it's going to be a very exciting event, trying to bring up these old blues songs.
Yeah.
So we're saying jazz, but we're going to have some of the blues, the rhythms, and all of it to entertain them for those number of hours.
So have you done this in the past? Is this the first one?
No, this is our first one.
This is the first one. So
yeah.
this is gonna be how the rest of them are judged, and we got to make sure we have a great crowd. What about food? Please tell me you're gonna have some food.
Oh yes, we're gonna have food. I think we're gonna have barbecue and other items, but you know, barbecue would be there for them.
Well, something else that's on the docket for the folks is the museum tour, and we talked a little bit at the start, but who's going to be leading the tour and really giving folks the information about the history of Bartow and, of course, the Luster African American Heritage Museum?
I would be doing most of it, but we got other members of our organization that would also be there to help out giving out information. The museum is probably unique compared to other museums because we start out with Africa. That's giving them the DNA, what the peoples of Africa was actually doing, and not the myths that's swinging from trees and all of this, because they were studying astronomy and all of this. I found out that when the colonists came in, most time they destroy your educational backgrounds and things, your libraries and things. So they hid their information in old dead trees, some of the Israel within the cubby holes in the mountains. And this was an eye-opening, seeing what they was doing at the time. They carry you all the way back to black pharaohs. So now, once you learn what these people was doing, then you can understand the museum, because in each little room we have, over the door, it tells you what's going on in the room itself. So these peoples are basically free people captured. Then we have a little ship showing the people put on the ship, because they were packed in a little ship like sardines. It's a little image to let the people see. Then you go in the next room, then you enter slavery. Because slavery, we said that they brought people here, and slavery became a mind thing. So then when you leave from there, then you go to emancipation of Lincoln, then you go into civil rights. And then you get into the locals of Bartow. Like you mentioned, we have tons and tons of people. Bartow was probably one of the most educated towns in Bartow, around, about. But the only thing is that they had to take their talents away to go other places. But we got doctors that graduated from our school. We got jet pilots that graduated from school. We have all that kind of history in there. And and people going like, I didn't know that. Like you say, we've been here 20 years and half of the people don't even know we're here.
Yeah.
But we have been lucky with the television and programs like this that the people from the outside is realizing and realize that we have captured so much history that they are coming in. We have people from New York, we have people from France, and because it's out there in the clouds, and I really appreciate the opportunity to express ourselves, letting us know what we have, because it's unusual for a little town like this to even have a museum of that type.
We got just about a minute left, and I want you to inspire folks to visit you on Saturday, March 15th for the Blue Room Jazz Day Party and, of course, museum tour, if you would, please.
What I want to let you know that the museum is free, and we only take donations, and so we want you to come and enjoy it. If you come and you're not feeling well and you have to be on a mobile vehicle, we even have a video of the museum that you can sit and watch the museum. The time would be enjoyable, and if you have any questions, you can ask us, and you can stay as long as you like.
Well, Charles, it was a pleasure having you in for the first time. Anything that we can help you do to promote the museum or any upcoming events, please come back and see me, would you?
Yes, I will. Thank you so much.
The Luster African American Heritage Museum invites you to their Blue Room Jazz Day Party and Museum Tour. Join them Saturday, March 15th from noon to 5 p.m., 585 East Summerlin Street in Bartow. The free community event includes vendors, live entertainment DJ, and much, much more. Now, if you need more information, you can give them a call, 863-698-8741, or go to laahm.org for more information. If you enjoyed that episode of Polk Place, I invite you to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and even check out the next one.